everyone, today we are going to learn about projectiles. So, projectile definition is the motion of particle projected in the air in any direction with any velocity. Such a particle is called a projectile. So, if he is a one man throwing an stone from this place to this place, so it travels through this path. So this is totally called as projectile. So he projects some object through some distance, so it is called a projectile, and it contains any direction: east, west, north, south, upward, downward, like any direction, and with some any velocity u equal to 5 meter per seconds, 8 meter per seconds, with any velocity. So and next, projectile moves in two-dimensional motion. So it contains x-axis and y-axis. It goes through horizontal and vertical. So it contains two-dimensional, and it has two components. One is horizontal velocity and one more is vertical velocity. So it is this is the horizontal velocity, this is the vertical velocity, and this one is the horizontal velocity. And the horizontal velocity remains constant because we throw a stone from this place to this place, so it remains through the constant of a ground part. So the vertical velocity, it changes upon through a height. While reaching a maximum while reaching, if we throw a stone, it reaches some maximum height. It has some velocity. Initial velocity vary from this velocity. So and at last, from this, the according to the gravity, it pulls down the stone, so the velocity changes. So the horizontal velocity remains constant and the vertical velocity change according to the gravity, and does not cover equal displacement in equal time period. So while throwing a stone from here to here, and total distance of from this to this, maximum height and the total distance should not be is not necessary to be equal. So that only given here. Then both the magnitude and direction changes. So it contains different directions. It goes through this path and comes down this path. So its direction and magnitude changes. So as the projectile moves upward direction, and the magnitude will decreases. If the projectile moves in this direction, upward direction, the magnitude decreases, and the projectile moves the downward direction, the magnitude will increase. And these are the point from where the stone is projected is called a point of projectile. Then the path of stone covered is the path of stone moved from the person hand to ground distance is trajectory. So the parabolic curve is called trajectory, and total time period taken travel from a person's hand to ground is called a time of flight of the projectile. So these are the projectiles definitions given here, and we have some brief definitions also. The point of projectile is a point of projection. If a person the point is a person's hand having a stone, that is called a point. That point is a point of projectile. And next one is velocity of the projectile. If we put some velocity to the stone to travel from a person's hands to some distance, having an initial velocity is called a velocity of the projectile. Then angle of projection. So from ground to the person's hand, so it contains some angle, so this is the angle of projectile. And trajectory, we already know that the path of the stone covered the stone covered is called trajectory. So that only given here. Time of flight is a total time taken traveling from this distance to this distance is called a time of flight. Then maximum height of the projectile is this point, center point. This is the maximum height from this parabolic curve. Then horizontal range of the projectile. Horizontal range of the projectile is the total distance from a person to a stone. So this is the horizontal range of the projectile. And one more formula we have, that projectile motion should be equal to the vertical motion plus horizontal motion. This is the projectile motion. And we have one theorem, that is the path of the projectile is parabola. We have to prove that path of the projectile is parabola. So this we seen in the next video. Hope you all understand about the projectiles, and share with your friends. Keep watching and thank you.